Hi, it's Joey Remini here from Seeking Balance Australia, and I would like to welcome you to my attempt at creating a YouTube channel so that we can gather a group of people who really care about vertigo and the recovery of persistent dizziness. So my background is in vestibular audiology and psychology, and I spent many years at Melbourne University studying all about the sensory system, basically focusing right in on the inner ears and the information that the inner ears are sending the brain. And I became really fascinated by balance. And on top of all of this, I was lucky enough to experience multiple bouts of vertigo. And you might think I'm crazy for saying that, but actually I learned a lot by experiencing vertigo. It was frightening, it was distressing, you wouldn't wish it upon anybody. But based on the fact that I work with vertigo, it was actually quite fascinating. It was like diving into a textbook and feeling it more so than reading it. So I'm really grateful to say that I had skills and strategies to help me understand my body and not be afraid of the vertigo or fight it or struggle with it or prolong the recovery. So on this YouTube channel, I want to talk a little bit about what it's like to work in a vertigo clinic. So I've seen thousands of people with many different conditions. The most common and simple to treat is generally BPPV, the benign paroxysmal positional vertigo condition. And we also see a lot of vestibular migraine. I see a lot of 3PD or persistent postural perceptual dizziness and Debarquement. Then there's also Meniere's and superior canal dehiscence and labyrinthitis or inner ear infections. So at the end of the day, I'm helping people understand how to feel into the vertigo and actually retrain their balanced brain. So the information collected by the two ears might be damaged in these people, and their balanced brain is having to recreate new templates and new filters. So this process takes time. We don't know how long it's going to take for any one person. We all experience dizziness in a different way, and our vertigo is unique. So the way I experienced is not going to be the same as another person. It is what it is, and it was what it was for me at the time. And I'm also aware that I could experience vertigo again. So it's an intermittent condition that does pop up quite spontaneously. So I work with people about learning to listen to their bodies to prevent escalating symptoms. And I do see people who are stuck in dizziness and they're at their wits' end. They don't know what to do anymore. So they would have seen multiple doctors, all the tests had come through, no abnormality, or maybe with Meniere's, they might have hearing loss on one side and some permanent damage to that ear, the balance organs in that ear. So even when there is permanent damage, while we cannot grow back what's lost, we can certainly substitute, adapt, and use the redundancy in the body. So we can find balance again. That means we have to rework the system, rebuild the system. We need a method, we need a process, we need support. So I do see a number of things prolonging people's recovery, and we're going to talk about these issues in this YouTube channel. So I want to keep it really positive. I want it to be about more what we can do more so than what we can't do. I want to honor that everybody's journey is different. Some people have very quick and elegant recoveries of their vertigo and dizziness. Other people just seem stuck in this heavy quagmire of dizziness for decades. Now, just because it's been decades doesn't mean it can't continue to change for the better. So I always encourage this sense of open-mindedness. It's really tricky to predict anybody's tomorrow. So we don't know if someone is permanently stuck in dizziness or if the body will actually figure it out. And certainly what I see more often than not is the body figures it out. So I'm really passionate about teaching people skills that put the body in a position where it's more likely to recalibrate, retrain, and reform the balance system. So we need to really get comfortable with our body and have a strategy in daily life where we're actually really in neuroplasticity mode. So neuroplasticity is the fancy word for the body rebuilding connections between the brain, the spinal cord, and the rest of us. So I suppose I just want to welcome you here to this group. I'll talk a little bit more about my background and why I've gotten into this work, but I'm also interested to learn about you guys. So I'd love you to sign up to my Vertigo Recovery Starter Kit. It's a free package. It's an online self-help resources. It's like a mini program just to get you into the idea of self-help, creating a plan, taking responsibility for who's in your support team, and also stepping back and thinking, what's my current strategy to get to where it is I want to be? So if I have vertigo and dizziness now, and any of us could be feeling panic, anxiety, frustration, overwhelm. We might be feeling like we can't work anymore, so employment's becoming an issue. Some of our relationships or our sexuality might be changing because we're just losing a lot of confidence and self-esteem.